Well, today is May 1st, May Day, which means we're 1/3 of the way through the year of 2024. So what better time to check in with meteorologist Matt Zaffino on some of the weather totals and trends so far for this year. Anything stand out, Matt?
You know, Pat, it's interesting because we're coming out of an El Nino year where our expectations for average rainfall, average snowfall are low because we tend to have dry winters, but that wasn't really how this one played out. We did better than normal for an El Nino year for sure. So here's where we stand. Since January 1st to today, May 1st, 18.21 inches of rain at the Portland airport, which is a little bit above average in terms of rank. 22nd wettest, so, you know, in the top 50% for sure. Top 75%, if you will, of that 4-month period. The most we ever had was not that long ago, 2017. We had over 26 inches of rain in the first 4 months of the year. That was brutal. That was wet. Really, really wet year. The least we ever had was way back in 1938, the first year of precipitation records at the Portland airport, with only a little over 2 inches of rain for the first 4 months of the year. We don't want to do that. And that one, you know, that's an outlier as well. So we're kind of Goldilocks territory, right there in the middle, which is great to see, right? We want to have our rain. Now, keep in mind, the more important number is how much rain have we gotten since the 1st of October, not the 1st of January, because that encompasses the entire rainy season at the end of the previous year and through the first part of this year, right? Hey, now we'll talk snowpack, right? Here are 2 cameras up at Timberline. And boy, they're looking good and snowy. We'll focus on Mount Hood right now. The clouds are lowering yet again. More precipitation on the way, but in the last 2 days, over 2 feet of snow to finish off the month of April, which boosted our May 1st snowpack. Now, we'll go through a bit of a timeline again, starting on January 1st. Our snowpack was rather pathetic, only 33% of average for both Timberline and the northern Washington Cascades up on Mount Baker. By April 1st, though, we're up at 81%, and we got to about average. I'll show you that next. Mount Baker's been suffering through a low snow year for most of the year. And again, that is typical of an El Nino year. Up in Washington, they tend to have lower than average snowpack. If we look what happened on April 15th, though, did a little bit better, 92 inches, only dropped 5 inches there in the snow depth, which is important because usually our snowpack peaks around April 1st, so we expect to see big drops. We saw a little bit of a drop here, but look, from middle of April until today, we're up.
Wow.
Yeah, right? 152 inches at Timberline and 94% of average. And Mount Baker came up a bit as well, and one of its highest percentages since back in late February or even March. So again, doing better with the snowpack, which is great. Now, I told you I'd show you the trend where we went through the season. This orange line is this year, 2023, 2024. This is for Timberline. The blue line is the average. You can see it gradually ramps up as averages will do. We got to average right around, we had that big, snowfall period in the middle and end of January. Then it dipped a bit, but we got back up around average in March, stayed there, took a dip, and now we're back up to about average. By the way, each one of these gray lines are other individual years showing the peak and the lowest that we've had too. So snowpack is actually in pretty good shape, better than last year for the 1st of May. Now, with a changing climate, we tend to see our snowfall frequency drop off and see more rainy days, especially at lower elevations. So this is something we have to watch as well. Strongest declines have happened in the first half of the century in the Cascades and at low elevations. Going forward, though, we're coming out of that El Nino year and going into a La Nina year with cooler than average water here in the Eastern Pacific, and that usually bodes well for the upcoming winter. So cold and wet is certainly a good possibility. As far as summer goes, Pat, looks like the next 3 months are going to be warmer than average. This is by the Climate Prediction Center with drier than average rainfall here. But, it's summer. So
Still, I remember 4th of July having a ski coat on because it was so cold when I first got here in 1990.
Oh, yeah, that's happened more than once, for
Yeah,
sure.
That's fascinating. Thanks, Matt. Great stuff. We'll be